New court documents obtained by KPRC2 News allege Hartfield didn't call 911 for an hour after she found Joseph Hartfield unresponsive on January 7th, after a phone app allegedly notified her several times of his low blood sugar. The diabetic's sugar levels dropped dangerously low before medics rushed him to this Baytown hospital. Despite treatments by medical staff, nothing could save his life, and he died a week later. Joseph had just made arrangements to stay with another family member, telling them he planned to divorce Sarah, according to documents, and told several family members he feared Sarah would kill him.
Let me introduce you to Sarah Hartfield. She is 48 years old. She's been married 5 times, and she is accused, allegedly, of killing her late husband, Joseph Hartfield. And she's also accused of killing a fiancé several years back. And she's also accused, allegedly, of trying to get one husband to go and kill the other ex-husband's wife. And I would consider her dangerous as hell, allegedly. They need to keep her in jail. Y'all men need to be careful about who you're hooking up with, because there's some crazies out there. It goes for men and women. It's hard to trust people nowadays because of all the evil that's going around. Pay attention to what people say and do. It is very important in this day and time. I hope her ass stay in jail, and so she won't be a threat to nobody else's son. And it's sad that not a family member, a friend, her children, nobody showed up to court for this woman. You must be a piss poor person that nobody show up for you. Do better with your life, with your crazy ass. Here goes the story. Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're gonna get it anyway. You are straddled the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're gonna tell you to do better. Please like, dislike, subscribe, and share the videos. Now let's go.
Chambers County woman accused of trying to have her ex-husband's new wife killed. Tonight, court documents reveal the suspect is Sarah Hartfield. She's the same woman charged with killing her 5th husband in January. Our Micah Hartfield spoke with the brother of Hartfield's fiancé, who she killed in 2018. She has the interview you'll only see on 13 tonight.
Eric, the death of Sarah Hartfield's 5th husband in Chambers County stemmed from a medical emergency. 5 years ago in Minnesota, she shot and killed her fiancé. While the circumstances are far different, her fiancé's brother says he sees similarities in the cases.
He definitely kind of knew it was coming.
As Daniel Bragg looks back on the loss of his brother David and the warning signs, he wishes things would have gone differently, not only for his family.
I'm more sad for Joseph's family at this point, because I feel like if David's death was looked into more, a whole life could have been spared.
David Bragg was shot and killed in 2018 by his fiancée Sarah Hartfield at a Minnesota home. That's the same woman who was charged last month with murdering her most recent husband, Joseph Hartfield, in Chambers County. The shooting was ruled self-defense by a Minnesota grand jury, and she was not charged. The case has since been reopened. Both men, according to their families, had plans to leave Hartfield at the time of their deaths and have voiced concerns that she might try to harm them.
He would just have this feeling that something bad was going to happen to him.
Hartfield, who's in custody with a $4.5 million bond, has been married 5 times, with her fiancé David Bragg in the midst of it. 2 of the men are now dead. Her 3rd husband, who she has at least 3 children with, has a protective order against her on behalf of himself and 2 of their children. The application for the protective order in Bell County, obtained by ABC 13, says Hartfield attempted to force her 4th husband to kill her 3rd husband's new wife, quote, so that he would be too busy dealing with the death to focus on fighting for his girls anymore. The affidavit alleges that this began at the end of 2020 and that the 4th husband said that, quote, he had a pistol that was was given to him by Sarah to carry out this act. Hartsfield allegedly told him that she wasn't going to allow him back home until he did it. Her third husband reporting that the FBI got involved in 2021, according to records, and conducted interviews. It's unclear where that investigation stands. And Sarah Hartsfield was questioned about those allegations during her bond hearing in Chambers County on Wednesday. She said that her fourth husband retracted those statements later in a court hearing. She says he was trying to retaliate against her for not taking him back. In the newsroom, Micah Hatfield, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Chambers County woman accused of murdering her husband will remain behind bars despite having her bond lowered. Today, during Sarah Hartfield's first court appearance, the judge lowered her bond from $5 million to $4.5 million. Her husband, Joseph, who was a diabetic, died in the hospital after his blood sugar tanked and he became unconscious, according to court records. ABC 13 reporter Micah Hatfield was in the courtroom today. And Micah, the DA used her past to keep her behind bars.
She did. Sarah Hartsfield was the only one to testify in court today. She spoke confidently, although at times she got emotional. Attorneys, the judge, and the media were the only ones in the courtroom. Hartsfield did not appear in person. She opted to appear from Zoom from the jail that's just 2 blocks away.
So they're trying to paint her in a bad light. They have an animus against her for some unknown reason that I am not aware of.
48-year-old Sarah Hartsfield's past was a major component in the hearing to lower her bond. Charged with murder, accused of killing her husband of 11 months, Joseph, who she says she met through online dating. Despite the charge, his cause and manner of death have not been determined.
How can you indict somebody when you don't know? I have no idea, but this is the epitome of indicting a ham sandwich.
District Attorney Cheryl Lick Henry questioned Hartsfield heavily about her past, saying she bounced from city to city, husband to husband, and state to state throughout her life. Hartsfield shot and killed her fiance David Bragg in Minnesota in 2018, originally ruled self-defense, but the case has been reopened since her murder charge in Chambers County. She detailed what she says happened in that killing in court today, saying the two got into a fight over her children's father wanting to visit them. The 48-year-old says she went back into the home after the fight with 2 guns on her, claims Bragg pointed a gun at her and she blindly shot him. She got emotional, saying she didn't know that she could pull the trigger. The DA pointing out the fact that she fired guns in the military. The DA also asked Hartsfield about the protective order her 2 daughters and a previous husband have against her, after allegations that she tried to have another husband of hers kill that husband's new wife.
The things that they're bringing up have already been investigated. There's been no open cases come back towards my client at this time. You heard her testify that she hasn't been visited by any police entities at this time, the FBI or any other of the counties that she has had any dealings with.
Members of the media were the only ones in the gallery of the courtroom today. That's something else that the DA emphasized. She said that no one showed up for Hartsfield, friends, or her children. The DA chose not to speak with the media after the court hearing today. A future court date has not been set.
Was on fire. Sarah Jean Hartsfield left a wake of exes behind her.
The Chambers County woman, who's been married 5 times now, is accused of murdering her most recent husband, as well as shooting and killing a past fiancé, remains locked up on a $5 million bond.
But tonight, as her defense team fights to get her bond lowered, we are hearing from yet another ex who says their relationship ended in literal flames. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom with the story you will see only on 2 tonight. Bryce.
Keith and Daniela, the night that ex thought their relationship was finally over, they went their separate ways. But not much time passed before he got a call from the local police department because his house was on fire. Sarah Jean Hartsfield left a wake of exes behind her, 2 of them now dead, as investigators dig into her past in the 39 different places she's called home as an adult.
We'll go back as far in her past as possible.
Her 5th husband, Joseph Hartsfield, died at this Baytown hospital in January. His official cause of death hasn't been released, but sources say an insulin overdose likely killed the diabetic. Days after a Texas grand jury indicted Sarah for his murder, Minnesota prosecutors reopened a case from 2018 when she shot and killed her then-fiancé David Bragg, initially ruled self-defense.
I did not think she would be capable of ever killing anybody.
Now, another ex who dated Sarah long distance for about 2 years while she was married to another man is sharing his story.
It ended in about as horrible as it could ever be for a person. Whenever she got mad, it was like World War III.
Their relationship ended in 2016. After back and forth restraining orders, the couple sat down to call it quits for good.
She went in her vehicle her way, and I went my vehicle my way.
He went to the local bar with friends, but after about 20 minutes, he got a call from police to let him know his house caught fire.
My bedroom was pretty much destroyed.
He lived in the home for about 5 years with no issue, but says investigators ruled the cause faulty wiring. The suspicious circumstances, part of a fiery past he's hoping to forget, and a reason he feels lucky to still be alive.
The only way you're going to protect the next man from harm is Texas needs to do their job and keep her locked up somehow, some way.
And for the first time tonight, we are hearing from Sarah Hartsfield's defense attorney, who tells us in a statement, Sarah Hartsfield maintains her innocence and will assist in the investigation of her husband's untimely death. We adamantly denounce the misinformation that has been provided to the public regarding her past, as well as any criminal involvement currently in Chambers County. Now, court documents indicate Hartsfield has tried to cover her $5 million bond with help from family and friends, but so far has not been able to come up with the necessary money. Her defense attorney tells us they plan to ask the judge for a reasonable bond based on this case in Chambers County, not any others, nor any hearsay. Live in the newsroom tonight, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
Wow.
In separate filings weeks later, George denied the alleged plot, calling it a plan to remove the girls from their mom, but also admitted to traveling to Donahue's home in Arizona from Minnesota. The plot came to light in March 2021 in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Local police there confirming to KPRC 2 News an FBI agent contacted one of their detectives and advised they were investigating. The agent requested a close patrol of Donahue's residence until they had a better understanding of the case. When investigators spoke to Sarah at her home, she, quote, lied about everything and the agents were gone. Court records show a week later, she filed to divorce David George, the man she wanted to carry out that alleged hit. She's now being held on a $5 million bond in the Chambers County Jail for the Texas murder charge.
The nature of the offender, a woman who's allegedly engaged in a variety of criminal wrongdoing that you're not likely to see in your typical run-of-the-mill murder defendant.
KPRC2 legal analyst Brian Weiss weighing in on the case that continues to have twists and turns.
When it comes to the punishment stage of any criminal trial in Texas, if in fact she's convicted of murder, I can almost assure you that this jury will hear almost everything about her life.
And according to those documents we obtained, Hartsfield lost custody of her 2 younger children after that alleged murder plot came to light. The judge writing family violence occurred and was likely to occur in the future. The judge also ordered no contact between her and the kids or the new wife, an order that is still in effect tonight. We reached out to lawyers for Hartsfield tonight. They have not responded, but earlier this week in a statement to KPRC2 maintained their client's innocence as they fight to get her bond reduced. Live in the newsroom tonight, I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
And today what we're learning is that 27 years ago, she lived here in West Harris County with husband number 2, and that is when local law enforcement arrested her. For a few months in 1996, Sarah Hartsfield lived here at this apartment complex in West Harris County with her then husband. On March 11th, records show the two got into a scuffle, and Hartfield, then in her early 20s, was arrested. She was charged with assault, but those charges were dismissed a week later. Reached on the phone today, the man who was her second husband says he wanted to forget he was ever involved with her, saying his feelings were the same as Titus Northshield, Hartsfield's first husband.
He's the guy you jump out of a plane with. Like, he's that person. Like, whatever you're ready for, he's always ready. He always has your back, you know, no matter what, right or wrong, he has your back. Really never thought that I would be having to say goodbye, like, so soon.
Yeah, I just talked to that young woman. She says Hartfield's family is still devastated by all the developments. Just within the last week, I've spoken to 2 ex-husbands and an ex-boyfriend. All tell me the same thing, and that is they are so relieved Hartsfield is behind bars, and they hope that justice is finally served. We're live in West Harris County. Maya Shea, ABC 13, Eyewitness News.